in an age of lawlessness and despair. The empire of man lay in ruins, torn asunder by civil war, and racked by famine and plague. Desperate, unscrupulous men deserted the temples of their fathers and gathered in forbidden cults, seeking the favor of the dark gods. And so it was, in the year 2301, that a Kurgan warlord named Asavar Kul united the savage tribes of the Chaos Wastes and made war upon the realms of men. The invaders entered the distant northern kingdom of Kislev and sacked its largest city, Prague. They sacrificed its people to their dark gods, and any who managed to flee were driven into the freezing wilderness. The Empire seemed powerless to stop the Chaos Horde, and many feared that the end of the world was at hand. But in the Empire's darkest hour, a nobleman from the south named Magnus rallied the people of the Empire to resist the invaders, uniting the warring Elector Counts in the process. The Imperial Army marched to the rescue of the Kislevite capital, fighting Kul's army in a massive battle outside the city walls. Joined by mighty heroes from all across the land, Magnus defeated Kul in single combat, and the Chaos Horde was scattered to the winds. Blessed by the gods and heralded as the true Emperor, Magnus returned to Nuln in triumph. But even as the old world celebrated Magnus's victory, the dark gods were planning their revenge. As a young dwarf in the great city of Karazakarak, you were taught the legends of your ancestors. Ever since, you have longed for the day when you could win fame and glory of your own and restore the luster of your much-diminished clan. When High King Thorgrim Grudgebearer called for warriors to aid Kislev during the Great Chaos Invasion, you were one of the first to pledge your service. Along with your father and your younger brothers, you left Karazakarak behind, marching eagerly to war. It wasn't long before you were in the thick of the fight, trapped inside the city of Kislev. You and your kin fought fiercely against the Chaos Horde. When Kul's first assault breached the city gates, it was the dwarfs who led the counterattack that drove the enemy back and saved the day. Your fearlessness in battle earned you the name Axebiter, and the Kislevites hailed you as a hero. But the more you tasted of glory, the more you began to crave it. When Magnus's army arrived outside the city, your thirst for immortal fame ended in tragedy. Leading a force of 300 dwarfs, you tried to fight your way out of the city to join the Imperials and fight Kul's army together. It was a deed worthy of legend, but not even Grimnir himself could have fought his way through so vast a horde. Your reckless charge was driven back at a bitter cost. Half of the valiant dwarfs that had followed you were slain, including your father and all of your brothers. Racked with guilt over the deaths of your kin, you swore powerful oaths of vengeance against the dark powers. And so you chose the path of the Slayer, seeking redemption through a glorious death in battle. When the final battle outside the city walls began, you went forth alone to find Asavar Kul and challenge him to single combat. You carved a bloody path through the enemy, reaching the Chaos Lord in time to see him fall to Magnus and his knights. After the battle, you accepted an invitation from Magnus to join his retinue and return with him to Nuln. As far as you were concerned, the new Emperor owed you a glorious death, and with many of Asavar Kul's champions still alive, you could be sure Magnus would not lack for foes. It was an age of lawlessness and despair, a time of dark magic, treachery, and war. It is a night made for witchery and evil deeds. And across the city, guardsmen clutch their weapons tightly and count the hours until the dawn. Sleep is hard to come by on a night such as this. The air is tense, and memories of the battle at Kislev leave you restless and on edge. Suddenly, a peal of thunder shatters the stillness, followed by a howling wind that shakes the tower to its foundations. Foul magic curdles the air, and screams echo in the courtyard outside. The tower is under attack!
What's all that noise? Best take a look. An attack! Ha! Thank the ancestors! If it's Magnus they want, they'll have to go through me first. I'd best get to the throne room. Thanks, Sigmar, you're here. There's monsters everywhere. The tower's being overrun. I know. Exhilarating, isn't it? No! Where's Magnus? Upstairs in the throne room. There's armor in a chest by the stairs. Take whatever you need, but hurry.
As you reach the throne room, the air seethes with foul magics. The Chaos Sorceress stands before the throne, and Magnus, the savior of the Empire, is caught within her spell. There's only one thing to do. Roaring a battle oath, you ready your axe and charge! By the time you regain your senses, the battle is over. The Sorceress is gone, leaving you and Magnus for dead. The shouts of angry men fill the throne room, but these are not guardsmen. They are witch hunters, the Empire's feared inquisitors, led by none other than the infamous Heinrich Voss. You are under arrest for the murder of the Emperor Magnus, Voss declares. You try to tell him about the sorceress, but Voss refuses to listen. I see no sorceress here, he shouts. Only you and a room full of dead men. Confess your crimes, dwarf, Voss threatens. We will have the truth from you, one way or another. After a week in the dungeons, you'll tell me everything I want to know. But before the witch hunter could make good on his threat, a commanding voice filled the room. Stop this madness at once! Teglis, Loremaster of the High Elves, regards Voss coldly. Raggy Axebiter has told you the truth, he said. It is you who have refused to listen. Teglis examines Magnus in silence. He lives, thank the gods, the High Elf says at last. But he is in the grip of a powerful curse. It is only a matter of time before he succumbs. No one outside this room must know what happened here. If the people learn that Magnus has fallen, then everything he fought for will have been for nothing. The fate of the Empire lies in our hands. We must find this sorceress and end the curse before it's too late. If Magnus dies, the Empire dies with him. There are dark and terrible forces at work in the city, Braggy Axebiter. If we are to find the sorceress and defeat her, we must confront the dark cult that has taken root in Nuln and expose its secret master.
Just tell me where I can find them, elf. My axe will take care of the rest.
The attack on the tower came from the sewers that stretch beneath the city. So long as the enemy controls the tunnels surrounding the tower, our position here is vulnerable. Your first task is simple. Enter the tunnels and drive the cultists back from the tower. Kill everything in your path, but beware. There is no telling what foul things await you in the darkness.
Ha! By Grimnir, I hope you're right! It's done. There's nothing in the tunnels outside the tower except dead men. Plenty of signs that there are more cultists deeper in the sewers, though, or I'm no dwarf.
I do not doubt it. The servants of Nurgle flourish in darkness and filth. Our battle against the cult has only just begun. Well done. Return to me when you are ready for your next task. There is grim news from the tower. Voss has learned that a large group of Magnus's guardsmen have gone missing. He believes they might have pursued the cultists into the sewers during the attack.
So? I'd have done the same if that damn sorceress hadn't blasted me off my feet.
They've been gone too long, Braggy. Either they've gotten lost in the tunnels, or the cultists have cut them off. Someone must go in after them and bring them out.
Damned cultist lured us into a trap. Tried to fight, but too many of them.
Easy now, lad. You and your men fought well. Now let's get you on your feet and back to the tower.
They took them. Anyone still able to walk dragged them, screaming, into the darkness. Forget about me. Find the others.
I found your lost warriors. They'd been trapped by the cultists and surrounded. For what it's worth, they died well. Most of them, at least.
And the others? They were taken alive?
Not much point taking them if they're dead, is it? What does the cult want with a handful of prisoners, though?
Not prisoner. Sacrifices. Offerings to the Lord of Pestilence in exchange for more power. We must do everything we can to prevent this. Go and make whatever preparations you require. Then return to me as soon as you are ready. There is no time to waste. Even as we speak, the cultists could be preparing to sacrifice their captives. If they succeed...
They won't. By iron and stone, I swear it.
The enemy will do everything in their power to keep you from reaching the captives in time. Choose your battles wisely. Now go, and good hunting.
I won't forget this, friend. Thank you. You saved my life. Thank you.
You saved my life. Maybe one day I'll do the same for you.
You can stop worrying, elf. The captives are safe. The cultists never knew what hit them.
Well done. The Chaos Gods withhold their gifts from those who fail them. This will weaken the cult and increase our chances for victory. Since the attack, we have been on the defensive, reacting to the enemy's plans. That ends now. We must seek out and destroy the cult's source of power if we are to end its reign of terror here in Nuln.
About time we took the fight to the enemy. So, how do we find this source of power?
The cult must have camps scattered throughout the sewers. Find one and capture its leader. He will tell us what we need to know.
I smell dwarf flesh! Kill the unbeliever! Naggle right, you dwarf! May the Lord of Pestilence turn your guts to slime!
Shut it, you misbegotten son of a goat! If I want your opinion, I'll beat it out of you! I brought you a prisoner, but good luck getting any sense out of him. He's more beast than man.
Leave him here. I'll have the answers I seek, one way or another. Return to me when you are ready. All will be made clear then. Fortune is with us. The Ungor required very little persuasion to turn on his human allies. The creature says the leader of the cult is a man named Friedrich Kessler, and has offered to lead us directly to the cult's shrine, located deep within the sewers.
You expect me to trust this goat man?
This has nothing to do with trust. If there is one thing that all followers of Chaos have in common, it's supreme self-interest. They will betray anyone and anything in order to protect themselves. Faced with certain death, the monster will not hesitate to turn on his former friends.
Yeah? And what's to stop him from doing the same to me?
The prospect of a beheading can be very persuasive, or so I'm told.
What's all this?
Rise! Spawn of Nurgle! Slay the unbeliever for the glory of the Plague God!
Beastman played you for a fool, elf. Led me right into a den of monsters, he did. By Grimnir, what a fight!
I had not expected this. No mere human cult could command such loyalty from an Ungor.
You're not making sense. If not the cult, then who?
I do not know. And that troubles me. If the servants of chaos would sooner die than give up their secrets, then we must find another way to reach their hidden shrine.
And I suppose you've got some clever new plan all worked out. Go on then, let's have it.
Heinrich Voss has more experience with these chaos cults than anyone else in Nuln. Speak with him. Perhaps he knows a way to obtain the information we seek.
Maybe if I chop his head and shake it, something useful will fall out.
What was that?
I said I was looking forward to pecking the witch hunter's brain about our little problem, that's all. Why? What did you think I said?
Braggy Axebiter. I hear you walked right into that Ungor's trap. Only a fool trusts the word of a servant of chaos.
Of course I did. Best fight I've had since I got here. Hang on. How did you hear about that? Have you been spying on me?
Uncovering secrets is part of my trade. I have eyes and ears in every corner of the Empire.
That would sound a lot more impressive if it weren't for the huge chaos cult you had no idea was operating in Nuln.
I haven't time to waste on idle chatter, dwarf. What do you want?
There is a shrine to Nurgle hidden in the sewers. For some damn reason, Teclis thinks you might be able to help us find it.
Cultists often hide their secrets in symbols etched onto their flesh. Look for elaborate tattoos on any cultists you find. Concealed in the lines may be the location of the shrine.
Grimnir's teeth. You want me to catch another cultist?
I only need the tattoo. The cultist is of no use to me.
Gooey unbeliever! Tear him apart!
I reckon this is the tattoo Voss was telling me about.
Fortune is with us, Braggy Axebiter. Voss has deciphered the cultists' map and discovered the location of their shrine.
The timing could not be better. I have consulted the archives, and the signs point to a propitious time for the Lord of Pestilence. Kessler and his cult will be gathering in the depths to perform their obscene rites.
Ha! That's what they think. We'll catch the whole cult in one place and turn the lot of them into dog meat.
Killing the cultists isn't enough, Braggy. There will always be weak-willed souls willing to serve the ruinous powers. If we are to break the cult's power, we must also capture Friedrich Kessler, as well as any chaos relics he possesses. Only then will Nuln be free from Nurgle's grasp.
brothers and sisters, the Eye of Argon. Lord Nurgle is pleased at Magnus's fall, and he has favored me with his blessing. Asavar Kul is dead, but soon a new Chaos Lord will rise to take his place. All hail the Lord of Pestilence!
I've got good news and bad news. The good news is that the cultists are dead, and I've got their precious relics. And Kessler got away. I tried to stop him. Don't think I didn't. But he wasn't some wretched little cult leader. He was as bad as anything we fought at Kislev, or I'm no dwarf.
We have underestimated our foe, High Lawmaster. This is no mere cult leader we're dealing with, but possibly a champion of Nurgle, blessed by the Unclean One itself.
That explains the presence of the Ungors. Kessler has summoned them to form his war band and solidify his power.
Ungors? War band? What's it all mean?
It says that the cult was the least of our worries. They were nothing more than a means to an end. We must find Kessler, and quickly. Meet me back at the tower when you are ready to proceed. There is no time to waste, Bragi. The champion of Nurgle is loose beneath the streets of Nuln, and the city is in terrible danger.
Grimnir's beard! We wiped out the damn cult! How could things be worse?
A chaos cult is an extension of its master. Most are nothing more than depraved souls dabbling in powers beyond their ken. But Kessler is different. Somehow he learned enough forbidden lore to win Nurgle's blessing and rise to the rank of champion.
I should have guessed the truth when you first fought the Ungors. No human cult could command such loyalty from the Beastmen. They are here to form the Chaos Champions' war band.
They will have been promised blood and flesh in return for their service. Now that the champion has ascended, he must pay their price or risk the wrath of Nurgle. If Kessler unleashes them on the city, the slaughter will be terrible.
I have sensed the presence of chaos magic deep in the sewers. Search the area and follow Kessler's trail back to his lair. Once we've found his hidden camp, we will decide what to do next.
We have him! Kessler's trail led to an ancient cavern that connects to the sewers. It's part of a network of caves that run for miles to the west, beyond the edge of the city.
Now we know how the servants of chaos were getting into the sewers. There's an ancient set of ruins west of the city. Perhaps that is where the enemy's camp is hidden.
I do not doubt it. Prepare yourself, Bragi Axebiter. There will be hard fighting ahead. Return to me when you are ready to make your assault. The time to strike is now. Witch Hunter Voss has assembled his men here at the tower. They will move in as soon as you have breached the camp's defenses and defeated Kessler. The Beastmen will have fortified their camp using whatever materials are at hand. They will be present in great numbers and hungry for human flesh. The key to victory is Kessler. Defeat him, and the others will break, just as they did at Kislev.
Father Nurgle, Lord of Plagues, hear me! Long have I worshipped you. Great are the deeds I have done in your name. I have performed your darkest rites. I have sacrificed the flesh of innocents in your name.
Give a rest, human. I've heard it all before. It's over. Time to die.
over, you blind fool. Chaos is eternal, and I am its champion.
If that were true, Asavar Kul would still be alive, wouldn't he?
Another will rise to take Kul's place. The Harbinger has sought out the shattered pieces of his army and found a new champion to seek the favor of the Chaos Gods and assume mastery of the Horde.
The Harbinger? That sounds like the kind of stupid name a sorceress would call herself.
Look at you, grasping at shadows. The Harbinger is far beyond your reach. And as for my life, it belongs to Nurgle, Lord of Pestilence and Decay. I give it to him freely in return for vengeance.
You have been deceived.
I sensed the greater demon force its way into our world and feared the worst. You have done well, young prince.
I know. It's a shame you missed it. By the gods, what a fight!
The Eye of Argoth, where is it?
It's over there, on top of Kessler. Well, what's left of him. Have a care, though. The damn thing, I don't know. It said...
Leave it to me. I'll make sure it doesn't tempt anyone else.
What about the sorceress?
Huh? Oh, Kessler said she calls herself the Harbinger. According to him, she's tracked down the remnants of Asavar Kul's army and is searching for a champion to lead it.
Where is she, this harbinger of chaos?
I don't know. That was the one thing Kessler didn't manage to say.
Prague.
What's that?
My agents in the north tell me that a large part of Kul's army fled the Battle of Kislev and returned to the ruins of Prague. I'd assume they would take ship and return to the Chaos Wastes. But now that I've heard about this Harbinger, I'm not sure. Perhaps we might learn more there.
Really? And how do you propose we do that? Prague is hundreds of leagues from here, and I've got short legs. We'll never make it in time.
Not so. There is a waystone near Prague that we can use. I can link to it from the stone here in Nuln and send you through. Meet me at the tower when you are ready to proceed. In the meantime, I will begin the rituals to open a pathway to Prague. All is in readiness. When I open the path, we will be transported instantly to the waystone outside Prague.
What's he doing here?
Don't be a fool, dwarf. The fate of the Empire is at stake. Until the Harbinger is found, I'm not letting you out of my sight.
What have your agents told you of the situation in Prague?
Not all of Prague's citizens were slaughtered when the city fell. Some managed to escape the city and hide in the forest nearby. When the Chaos Army left Prague to march on the capital, the survivors returned to the ruins to bury their loved ones and try to rebuild what they had lost. But the Kislevites' suffering was far from over. When Asavar Kul was defeated, a champion of Khorne named Uthgrim Redax retreated with his war band back to Prague. Their arrival took the Kislevites by surprise. A few managed to escape back into the forest, but with winter coming on, it is unlikely they will survive.
Ah, grim tidings indeed. The question is, will they help us?
The Kislevites are a proud, stiff-necked people, and they have little love for outsiders. They won't give us anything without expecting something in return.
If that is the case, so be it. Now, gather round. The winds of magic are shifting, and it is time we made our way to Prague.
The High Elves of Ulthuan are masters of the winds of magic, and none are more renowned than the High Princes of Safri. You were born to a life of great power and privilege, destined one day to take your place among the archmages at the Tower of Hoeth. The arts of magic came easily to you, but as your skill grew, so did your arrogance. A rivalry with another student at the tower spun out of control, culminating in a magical duel that left your rival dead and one of your teachers crippled. As punishment for your recklessness and disobedience, you were banished from Ulthuan until you had atoned for your crimes. Cast out with nothing but a few magical tomes and the clothes on your back, you journeyed to the old world in search of adventure. At first, the news of the Chaos invasion meant little to you. Your people had been fighting the Dark Gods and their armies for thousands of years. But then you learned that Teclis, Hoeth's greatest living archmage, had come to the old world to offer his support to Magnus and the Empire. Believing your moment of redemption was at hand, you rushed north to join the Imperial army. Magnus accepted your offer at once, glad for another mage to battle Kul's sorcerers. As the day of battle dawned, you were determined to prove your worth or die in the attempt. While Teclis shielded Magnus from the enemy's spells, you fought Kul's sorcerers and demons with all the skill at your command. By the time the battle was over, you were a hero. Magnus offered you a place in his retinue, a position of tremendous power and influence. Such trifles meant nothing to you. All that mattered was the opinion of Teclis, who could end your bitter exile with just a few words. And so you have chosen to travel to Nuln with the Imperial army, determined to win the favor of the High Lawmaster at any cost. If that meant protecting Magnus from his enemies and rebuilding the ravaged human empire, then that is what you will do.
Who in Ursun's name are you? What do you want?
Have a care, Kislevite. You are addressing a Prince of Safri. Are you the leader of this rabble?
Who's asking?
My name is Elontir. I am here on a mission for the Empire.
Is that so? Well, you've come a long way for nothing, Elf. Take your wizard and your damn witch hunters and go home. There's nothing for you in Prague. Red Axe and his warband have seen to that.
Red Axe is the reason I'm here, you impertinent wretch. I'm hunting a sorceress who calls herself the Harbinger.
What do you want me to do about it? My people are dying. There's no food, no medicine for the injured.
I am sorry to hear that. Perhaps we may be of assistance.
There must still be food and medicine in the ruins. Recovering them should be a simple matter.
It's no use. Red Axe's men search the ruins every day. They get to the supplies long before you.
You underestimate the powers of the Azure. I will bring you these supplies, and in return you help me find the Harbinger.
You don't know what you're saying, Elf. You haven't seen the monsters that are loose in Prague. If you can bring us food and healing herbs, then we will talk.
Here are the supplies I promised. They should last you and your people for quite some time.
Erson's teeth! You gathered all this with Red Axe's monsters breathing down your neck? I'm impressed. This is more than I dared hope for. You risk your life for our sake, and that counts for something among my people. I am Leonid Gorchev, and I speak for everyone in this camp when I say I am in your debt. You and your comrades are welcome here. If there is anything you need, speak to our merchant. There are shrines as well if you seek the blessings of the gods. In the meantime, I must see to my people. Return to me when you are ready, and we will speak more about this sorceress you're hunting for. Back already? You don't waste much time, do you, Elf?
My mission is an urgent one. If the Harbinger is in Prague, she must be found.
Othram Red Axe and his cultists worship corn. The blood god hates sorceress.
Where did you learn such a thing?
This is Kislev, witch hunter. We get it with our mother's milk. Every year the Norskins raid us from across the Sea of Claws. Unlike you Southerners, we can't afford to be ignorant of our foes.
Knowledge is the first step on the path to corruption.
This has less to do with sorcery and more to do with power. The Harbinger is searching for a new champion to lead the armies of chaos.
Then she's at the Tower of Skulls. That's Othgrim's stronghold inside the city.
Very well. How do we reach the tower?
You don't. Not without an army. The tower is built on the ruins of the old citadel, and it's surrounded by monsters.
My people believe that courage and skill count for more than numbers. A small, determined force could slip past Red Axe's minions. You know the city, Leonid Gorchev. There must be a way.
I don't know. Perhaps. Let me think on it. In the meantime, there is a favor I would ask of you.
This is outrageous. We don't have time for this.
What is it?
When Othgrim and his warband returned to Prague, we had no warning. They surrounded our camp in the old town, trapping most of our people inside. One of them was my son, Arkady.
That was more than a month ago. Surely they are dead by now.
Some of them might have escaped before it was too late. They could be hiding somewhere in the city. There was a woman named Galina who was keeping a journal about life in the camp. If an escape were planned, she would have written about it.
That journal could be anywhere.
No. One of Red Axe's men has it. He must have taken it as a trophy after they've overrun the camp. I can tell you where he is. If you could get the journal back, please. I need to know what happened to my son.
I do not see what good it will do, but if there is anything to be found, I will bring it back to you.
What's this?
I'm here for the journal. Hand it over, and I'll let you walk away.
Fool! Come and take it then if you dare. You want a fight? So be it! Blood for the Blood God!
Knowledge only dust will remain.
Perfection requires patience. I'll take this back to Gorchev. Perhaps it will provide the answers he seeks. Is this the book you were looking for?
Yes, that's Galina's journal. I'd know it anywhere. Now we'll learn what happened to Arcady and the others. I'm sure of it. I need to find someone who can read this. Thank you. We will speak again soon. It is just as we hoped. Galina's journal says that the survivors were going to try to escape through the sewer tunnels before it was too late.
And Arcady, what of him?
Galina said he fought the cultists day and night. They killed his mother, you see, when the city fell. He hated them with all his heart. In the end, he and a few others stayed behind to buy time for the rest to get away.
Then you have your answer. He most likely died in the tunnels fighting the cultists.
Don't talk like that. We don't know he's dead. He might have escaped just like the others.
You expect me to believe your son held off an entire war band of chaos cultists and then slipped away like a ghost? That's ridiculous.
Go to the Garden of Urson. That's where Galina said they were headed. See if anyone made it out alive. Please. I have to know. Arcady. He was all I had left in the world. You understand, don't you?
Very well, human. If this will convince you, then so be it. It would appear that some of Gorchev's people managed to escape after all. Not that it did them much good. I should look around. Perhaps Galina left something behind that I can take back with me. You were right, Leonid. Much to my surprise, Galina and a few others escaped the camp and took refuge in Urson's garden. They survived there for nearly a month before the cultists found them again.
Oh no.
I found some papers hidden behind the altar stone. Perhaps they will provide the answers you seek.
What about Arcady? Was he...
He wasn't there. As I told you before, it's highly unlikely he survived the attack on the camp. As for Galina and the others, there were few bodies left behind. I suppose the cultists must have carried them off.
I have nothing left now. Red Axe and his monsters have taken everything. My home, my wife, now my son. They owe me a debt of blood. And by Urson, they will pay it. I will find someone to read the papers for me. Perhaps Arcady is mentioned in them. Thank you. We will speak again soon. Galina's papers tell a grim tale. After Arcady and his comrades sacrificed themselves, the others reached the Garden of Urson and barricaded themselves within. They hid there for weeks. When the food ran out, they crept out at night to search the ruins for supplies. Perhaps that's how the cultists found them. They attacked without warning, throwing themselves against the barricades again and again. Galina and the others fought back with everything they had. And for days the defenses held. But then a new enemy appeared. A faceless savage the cultists called the Bloodborne. It was he who broke through the barricades and desecrated Ursen's sacred garden.
A bad end, but a predictable one. There was nothing you could have done.
But now there is. Now we can avenge them. I know where the Bloodborne's camp is. We saw it while searching for supplies just a few days before you arrived.
You want to attack the camp?
I must. They must pay for what they've done. With your help, we can take them by surprise and slaughter them.
My help? Now look here, Gorchev, you said...
I know what I said. That was before I learned about Arcady. Now are you with me or not?
Very well. I'll help. But you owe me, Leonid Gorchev. Remember that.
Look here! A gift of flesh from Almighty Korn! Kill the weak and save the rest for the fighting pits! Blood for the Blood God!
Knowledge is only dust will remain.
Where is he? Where is the Bloodborne?
There's no sign of him.
Impossible. This is his camp. He's got to be hiding somewhere.
A Korn berserker hiding from battle. Don't be a fool, Gorchev.
One of the cultists mentioned fighting pits. Do you know what he was referring to?
They built them in the ruins near the merchant's quarter. Men die there every day for the glory of the Blood God.
Men provided by the Bloodborne and his war band.
Then that is where you must strike next. Hunt this monster down and destroy him wherever he hides. Do this, and I will be forever in your debt. There is no time to waste. You must strike now, before the Bloodborne realizes you've raided his camp.
This is a mistake. Think, Gorchev. We have no idea what might be waiting in those fighting pits. For all we know, it could be a trap.
Bah. If you move quickly, you will have the element of surprise. That's all you need.
The situation might be more complicated than either of you realize. Palantir, you said there were fewer bodies at the Garden of Ursen than there should have been.
Of course. The Bloodborne didn't kill the survivors. He took them to the fighting pits instead.
That was weeks ago. The Norskans would have killed them by now.
Nonetheless, I must still check the cages to be sure. Is that not so, Leonid?
What's the point? You want to make a difference? Kill the Bloodborne. Nothing else matters.
Impudent worm! Only the mightiest warriors are worthy to enter Korn's sacred arena! You will pay for your insolence in blood!
Help us, please, please, before it's too late.
The High Lore Master was right. I have to help the humans escape. That is not ready. Spells need more power. I should conserve my energy.
Ursun's blessings upon you. We owe you our lives. Thank you, stranger. Thank you.
Go! Quickly!
This worm seeks to deny us our sport. Tear his flesh, crush his bones. Blood for the blood god!
Only dust will remain.
Enough!
Well, is he dead? Or was all that for nothing?
I escaped the Bloodborne's trap and rescued your people from the fighting pits. And you call that nothing?
Why should it matter? Red Axe still rules Prague. The Bloodborne and his minions will keep hunting for victims to fill the fighting pits. As long as they live, all we can do is suffer. Blood calls for blood. We must slaughter them all.
Do not let your hatred consume you, lest you become a servant of Khorne yourself.
How dare you? You think me no different than some murdering barbarian? A monster that bathes in blood and worships demons?
Better men than you have sworn themselves to chaos, Leonid Gorchev. Remember that.
It is an offense against the gods to harm a guest in one's home. Leave me, before I do something I might later regret. I've spoken with the survivors you rescued. You should hear the stories they tell. They were starved, tortured, made to fight in the pits. The Bloodborne thought he could corrupt them. We should have killed that monster when we had the chance.
Then your people would still be in cages. Where is the justice in that?
Don't talk to me about justice, Elf. I want justice for my wife and son. I want the Bloodborne's head on a spike. And Elantir is going to get it for me.
You're mad.
What if I am? You want my help to get Red Axe? You want me to help you save your precious empire? Then bring me the Bloodborne's head.
You're a fool, Gorchev. Attacking the fighting pits again would be suicide.
There is another way. I know how we can draw the Bloodborne out and deal with him alone.
How?
There is a part of the city near the fighting pits where the Bloodborne has piled the skulls of his victims as offerings to Khorne. If you were to destroy them, he would have to challenge you himself, or suffer the wrath of his god.
So be it, human. You shall have your revenge. But mark me, it will bring you no peace.
You were lucky to escape me last time, weakling. Now you will pay for what you've done. Blood for the blood god!
My magic is not ready yet.
Well, is it done?
As you commanded. The Bloodborne is dead.
Show me! I want to see the monster's face for myself. Oh, no. This can't be. You've made a mistake, Elentir. A terrible mistake!
I made no mistake, human. You demanded the Bloodborne's head, and here it is.
It can't be. That's Arcady. That's my son!
What?
Isn't it obvious? Red Axe's men captured him and took him to the fighting pits. There, his bloodlust consumed him, and he became a servant of Khorne.
You see, Leonid Gorchev, even those who have the most reason to hate the Chaos Gods can still fall under their sway. Beware, lest you suffer the same fate.
Enough, for pity's sake! You've said your piece. Now leave me to my grief. Ursun's teeth! Leave me alone! Can't you see I'm in mourning?
I have no time for your grief, human. You brought this on yourself. I have done everything you required of me. Now you must do your part. Tell me how to get to Red Axe.
Have you learned nothing since you got here? Prague is cursed! If you go after Red Axe, you'll end up just like Arcady!
We Azur have been fighting the forces of chaos for millennia, human. We do not yield to their temptations. Now tell me, how do I get into the Tower of Skulls?
I told you before, you can't. You'll have to draw Red Axe out, just like you did to the Bloodborne.
How?
How else? Othgrim Red Axe is a champion of Khorne. If you were to challenge him to single combat, he would have to accept, or else his warriors would think him weak.
That's it? Just go to the tower and challenge Red Axe to a duel?
If you could make it there without getting cut to pieces, you'll be fighting cultists and worse every step of the way.
Of course. Anything else I need to know?
Just this. The challenge requires an offering. The skull of a mighty foe, to join the others piled upon the shrine. Take this. Give my son's death meaning, and drive these monsters from Prague.
Look upon the skull of the Bloodborne and bear witness. Before the gods, I challenge Othgrim Red Axe to a fight to the death. Let him come forth and answer, or be cursed as a coward forevermore.
Pathetic wretch. You dare challenge the might of Khorne. Destroy him. Rip him apart. The warrior who brings me his head will bask in the glory of the Blood God.
Knowledge! What is this? Gorchev said Red Axe would have to accept the challenge.
You are a wizard, young prince. He does not believe you worthy. You are going to have to convince him.
And how shall I manage that?
Kill as many of his followers as you can. The longer you survive, the weaker Red Axe will appear to his warband. Eventually, he'll have to face you himself.
Fool! You cannot triumph here. Khorne revels in the slaughter. Every death is an offering to the Blood God. You sow the whirlwind, mortal. Soon you will know its fury.
Red Axe has fled.
How can this be? A champion of Khorne never runs from battle.
Not unless there was a chance to strike an even greater blow against his enemies.
What do you mean?
The death of so many powerful warriors would make a mighty offering to Khorne. Red Axe could use their souls to summon a bloodthirster into the physical realm.
A demon?
A greater demon. The mightiest of those that serve Khorne. A bloodthirster is savagery incarnate. If it isn't stopped, it will slaughter everything for miles. No one in Kislev will be safe.
I understand, High Lore Master. How do I find Red Axe?
Leave it to me. I can guide you there, using your waystone. The gods go with you, young prince. If Red Axe summons the bloodthirster, you must stop it at all costs.
You're of no particular interest to me, Uthgrim Red Axe. It's the Harbinger I want. Give her to me, and perhaps I will let you leave this accursed city.
Weakling. I should have guessed that southern witch had you caught in her web. She thought she could bend me to her will with her gifts and her honeyed lies. As though I needed the help of a sorceress to win the blood god's favor and lead Asavarkul's horde. When Prague fell, I consecrated its streets with the blood of innocents. When the demons gathered to feast, I subjugated them and was exalted in the eyes of Khorne. He gifted me with this axe to bring death and ruin upon the old world. I told the witch that if she stayed in Prague, I would hang her head from my belt. She has gone to the Forest of Knives to seek the champion of Slaanesh. Her pretty lies will serve her well there.
Then it appears you have nothing left to bargain with.
Fool. You think I fear death? I offer it freely as a gift to Khorne. Blood for the blood god!
Leave the axe to me, elf. Do not touch it, lest you forfeit your soul.
Ascian's flames! Take it away, witch hunter! I want nothing to do with it!
Your courage and skill have saved a great many lives, young prince. Uthgrim Redax is dead, and his warband has been scattered. It will take many years, I suspect, but Gorchev and his people now have a real chance at rebuilding Prague.
Perhaps, High Lord Master, but the Harbinger continues to elude us.
Did Uthgrim tell you anything before he died?
She offered him the remnants of Azavar Kul's horde, the same as she did to Kessler. Redax threatened to hang her head from his belt, so she fled. He said she'd gone seeking the followers of Slaanesh in the Forest of Knives. I've never heard of such a place.
I would not expect you to. It's an ancient place, deep in the frozen wilds of Norska. An elven city used to stand there, long before the coming of chaos. If the gods are with us, I may be able to open its waystone and allow us to travel there.
There's one more thing. Uthgrim referred to the Harbinger as that southern witch. What do you suppose that means?
From Uthgrim's perspective, anyone not from the Chaos Wastes is a southerner.
If she's not from the Chaos Wastes, then she's of the old world. Perhaps even a citizen of the Empire.
It would explain how she was able to recruit Kessler and carry out the attack at Nuln.
Don't be ridiculous. If she were from Nuln, the witch hunters would have found her and dealt with her long before she'd become a threat.
We'll know the truth soon enough. For now, let's return to the forest. I must make preparations for the next phase of our journey. I am ready to open the waystone to the Forest of Knives, young prince. I trust you are prepared. The path ahead will be perilous indeed.
Whatever awaits us in the forest will be no match for my spells, High Lord Master.
Do not be so sure. The forest lies in the heart of Norska, which sits at the edge of the Chaos Wastes. The winds of magic blow wild there, corrupting everything they touch with the power of chaos.
There's more to it than that, High Lore Master. Much more. Do you want to tell him, or shall I?
What is he talking about?
He speaks of the Chaos God Slaanesh. We know her as she who thirsts, because she craves the souls of elven kind more than any other race. Slaanesh is the god of excess. She corrupts by fulfilling one's darkest wishes and deepest hungers. In ancient times, her secret cults flourished among our people.
Not even the high and mighty elves are safe from the temptations of chaos.
Once we reach the forest, I will remain close to the waystone, where its energies will conceal my presence. I cannot risk drawing the attention of the power inside the temple until our mission is complete.
Not to worry, High Lore Master. I will see to it that your little prince receives all the help he deserves. Cast your spell and let us depart.
The life of a wood elf is one of tireless service to the great forest of Athel-Loren, protecting it from those who would do it harm. Sometimes, however, it happens that a young Azrai is born with an urge to wander. An overpowering curiosity and a desire for adventure that will not be denied. Known as the Windborn, these wood elves can be vexing to their elders, but have the potential to become great rangers if their adventurous nature is properly harnessed. And so young Windborn are given leave to wander the wide world for a short period of time, no more than 100 years, to see all they can of the wider world before returning to the Athel-Loren and taking up their duties. You had been wandering the old world for little more than a year when you heard the news of Asavar Kul's invasion. A human named Magnus was raising an army to drive back the Horde. It sounded like an epic adventure, the very thing you'd left the Athelloran to find. And so you crossed the depths of the Great Brightfall to find the Imperial army. That night, you slipped into the army camp and made your way to Magnus's tent, where you offered your services as a scout. Impressed by your skill, Magnus accepted and made you a part of his growing retinue. Thus began your first great adventure, guiding the growing human army across the Empire and into the frozen lands of the North. The great battle outside the walls of Kislev was more terrible than you could have imagined. You kept close to Magnus during the fight, and joined him in the heroic charge that slew the Chaos Lord and turned the tide of the battle. After the battle was won and the dead put to rest, you returned with Magnus to the city of Nuln, where a hero's welcome awaited you. But the noise and bustle of the human city has begun to wear on you, and the urge to wander has taken hold again. As the sun sets over Nuln, you wonder if the time has come to leave the city and seek a new adventure elsewhere.
Sigmar's bones! How did you get here?
I have come from distant Prague on a mission for the Empire. But what about you? Who are all these people?
Imperials and Kislevites, captured by Norse raiders. They bring their captives back to Norsk as slaves, or sacrifices to their foul gods. We're the lucky ones. We managed to escape. But we quickly learned that without a ship, there was no way to make it back to our homes. So we ended up here. We found the ruins of an old elven city deep in the forest, and plenty of food to eat. For a time, we thought we were safe. Until Skraeling arrived.
Skraeling? Who is he?
Fergun Skraeling, a Norse warlord who joined Asavar Kul's horde. When Kul died at Kislev, Skraeling and his war band fled here. They've taken over an elven temple at the heart of the forest and desecrated it with their foul rituals. Now, Skraeling's people hunt us through the forest. Some they kill, others they drag off to the temple. Soon, there won't be any of us left.
Does Skraeling have a companion? A sorceress who calls herself the Harbinger?
How did you know?
Never mind that. I must get inside the temple. Can you help?
I wish I could, friend. But right now, I have more urgent problems to solve.
Impertinent wretch! We are agents of the Empire.
What is wrong?
Every time my people try to leave camp and hunt for food, Skraeling's men are waiting for them. We've been trapped here for weeks, and there's nothing left to eat.
Fear not. I will deal with these savages. Then, when I return, you will help me get into the temple.
Alone? Are you mad? Skraeling's men are vicious killers.
And I am a huntress of the dark forest. Beneath these ancient trees, Skraeling's men are merely prey. I have finished my hunt. Tell your people the forest paths are safe for now.
I can't believe it! What is your name, friend?
I am Alessa. My companion is Witch Hunter Voss.
We're in your debt, Alessa. The camp isn't much, but you're welcome here. We've a merchant, if you've got any gear to sell. There are shrines as well, if you wish to offer a prayer to the gods. I need to tell my people the good news. Come back to me when you're ready, and we'll talk more about the temple. My people send you their thanks, Alessa. If the gods are good, perhaps they'll sleep easily tonight.
They will sleep better once the evil has been driven from the temple. Do you know of a way inside?
Ah, yes. The temple. I've been giving that some thought.
You promised to aid us, Clemt. Do I need to refresh your memory?
Gods, no! I didn't mean it like that. I don't know much about the temple myself. Few of us go anywhere near the ruins. But there is someone who might have the answers you seek. His name is Erlanger. Waldo Erlanger. He was a scholar of some sort before the Norse captured him. Erlanger knows more about the elven ruins than anyone else. If anyone knows how to get into the temple, it's him.
Very well. I shall speak to Erlanger at once. Where is he?
Well, that's the problem. No one's seen Erlanger in weeks. He went out into the forest on one of his expeditions and never came back. I can draw you a map of the forest and show you where Erlanger was heading. If you can find him, I'm sure he'll be able to help.
All right, Clemt. Show me the map. Oh, Ashenthorn! The camp has been attacked. There is a trail leading off into the forest. Erlanger escaped, and the Norse have set off after him. I'd best get to him before they do.
Glorious fortune! Another moment and all would have been lost. What is your name, friend? And what wondrous twist of fate brought you here?
My name is Alessa. I followed your trail from the camp.
Of course! I should have expected as much. My name is...
You are Waldo Erlanger. I have come looking for you because Clemt said you could help me.
Why, yes. Yes, of course. I am at your service. What sort of help do you require, exactly?
I am hunting a sorceress who calls herself the Harbinger.
The Harbinger? Ooh, quite an ominous name, if I do say so myself.
She is with Skraeling at the old elven temple. I need a way to get inside.
Oh, the temple. Why didn't you say so before? Yes, nothing could be simpler. Come, my friend, let's get back to camp. I need to review my notes and some old journals. I'm sure I have just what you need. There you are. I was just regaling Witch Hunter Voss about your daring rescue in the forest.
Oh, yes, indeed. You're quite the hero, Alessa. I didn't think you had it in you.
It was nothing. Truly. Let us speak of the temple instead.
Yes, well, as you know, Skraeling and his warband have taken over the site, so going in through the main entrance would be suicide. But in my studies of the temple and the neighboring ruins, I learned that a secret entrance exists, hidden in an area known as the Garden of Contemplation. Now, the garden has been sealed since the elves abandoned the city centuries ago. The only way to unlock the garden gate gate is with a magic key that they hid somewhere in the forest.
Get to the point, Erlanger.
I know of a map that shows the location of the key, but it's in a dangerous part of the forest. I haven't dared go after it myself.
Tell me where it is, and I will go and fetch it.
You're back! Were you successful? Do you have the map?
See for yourself.
Fate smiles on us again. Truly, you are a gift from the gods. I need some time to study the map before I can give you the information you need. Return to me when you are ready to risk the forest once more.
Time is running short, friend Erlanger. What can you tell me about the map?
Oh, yes. It's magnificent. A treasure, really. The craftsmanship and the attention to detail.
The key. Where is the key?
Oh, that. Well, I've got the location narrowed somewhat. Within a few square miles, more or less.
You promised you could tell us where to find the key.
I didn't say I could do it immediately. This map is ancient. It refers to landmarks that don't exist anymore. These things take time.
You must work faster, Erlanger. Is there any way to speed up the process?
Well, more reference materials would help. I know of a cache of books hidden in the ruins that could be useful, but...
It's in a dangerous part of the forest.
Yes.
Fine. I'll bring you the books. I brought back every book I could find. Surely some of these will be of use.
Yes. Oh, these are just what I need. I'll get to work right away. Come back to me when you're ready, and I should have some good news for you.
Clemt? Where is Erlanger?
He left. Something about needing cross-references for his research.
Actually, it's good you're here, Alessa. I need your help.
What happened?
One of our hunting parties is overdue. I'm afraid something might have happened to them. Could you go and take a look?
We're not here to be your nursemaid, Clemt. They're your people. Deal with the problem yourself.
Have you no mercy, witch hunter? These people could be in danger.
Peace, friend. Tell me where your people went, and I will find them.
Who is it that intrudes upon our revels? These slaves are mine now. They have offered themselves to Slaanesh and partaken of the gods' dark delights, just as you will, in time. Take her!
There's nothing to fear. I bring sad tidings, Clemt. I found your people, but Skraeling got to them first.
He killed them?
They aren't suffering anymore. That's all that matters.
They are dead now. If it matters, their end was swift and painless.
Sometimes I think that's the best any of us can hope for in this accursed place.
Alessa, where have you been? I have exciting news.
You know the location of the key.
Yes. The elves hid it inside a monument deep in the forest. The books you recovered provided the crucial information. It's really quite a fascinating story. Would you like to hear it?
Perhaps later. Tell me about the key.
Well, if you insist. There is a hidden path that leads to the monument. I don't know its exact location, but I can give you a general area to search in.
That's all I need. Thank you, friend Erlanger.
You dare seek the key to the sacred garden? Seize the unbeliever and bring the sacred key to me.
I have it. Now to use the runestone and escape.
Oh, did you find it? Did you find the key?
Naturally. It was right where you said it would be.
I knew it! Oh, if those fools back at the university in Nuln could see me now! I need to research the finer aspects of the key's operation. Return to me when you are ready, and together we shall unlock the Garden of Contemplation.
The time has come, Erlanger. Tell me how to use the key.
Ah, yes. About that. The process is somewhat complicated. The key must be used as part of a very specific ritual in order to open the garden gate. The smallest mistake could destroy the key and render the garden inaccessible forever.
I have no head for rituals, Erlanger. There has to be another way.
There is. There is. You make your way through the forest to the garden gate. I'll follow at a safe distance. Once you've dealt with any dangers in the area, I'll join you and open the gate.
It's too dangerous. I can't fight Skraeling's warband and watch over you at the same time.
Well, what about Witch Hunter Voss? He could protect me.
Now look here.
It's either that or I try and teach you the ritual. That could take several days, perhaps as much as a week.
All right, we'll do it your way. Stay close to Voss and don't do anything foolish.
Oh, yes! You won't regret this. You have my word on it. At last! Stay back. This shouldn't take long.
There's nothing to fear here. Slay the unbeliever! Do not let her defile the sacred garden!
You've done it! The path to the temple is clear.
Go on, elf. I'll stay here with Erlanger while you confront Skraeling. If he is like the others, he will be wielding a chaos relic of great power. Once he has been dealt with, leave the relic to me.
You have desecrated the sacred garden. And now you force your way into the presence of Slaanesh itself! What is your desire? Speak, and the god may answer.
I want no part of your god, Skraeling. I'm here for the Harbinger.
The sorceress? She is not here. But she is somewhere close. Oh yes, I can feel it. It was she who led me to this temple, where I claimed the Gauntlet of Torment and became the champion of Slaanesh. Thanks to her, I will become the next Lord of Chaos and command the might of the Horde. She calls herself the Harbinger, but that isn't her name. Her real name is Elspeth Bale, and she was born in the city of Nuln. There is so much that you don't know. Even now she watches from the shadows, winding you in her web. You want her? She can be yours. Offer yourself to Slaanesh, and all things are possible.
I am an Azrai. I would rather die than bend the knee to chaos.
As you wish.
The gauntlet is not for the likes of you, elf. Only an iron will and a cold heart can resist its temptations. Let me deal with it.
By the spirits of the wood, take it away. I want no part of it.
Congratulations, my friend. I knew you could do it. I knew it from the moment I saw you. I sensed the battle with the demon and came as quickly as I could. You have done well, Elessa. An ancient and wicked spirit has been banished from this world. But what of the Harbinger?
Where is she?
Somewhere close. Skraeling said he could sense her.
Skraeling was right.
You should have taken his offer. Now it's too late. The old world will soon be mine.
Ash and Thorn! She deceived me! The Harbinger was right before my eyes, and I never knew!
There was no way you could have known, young Azrai. The Harbinger is a sorceress of Tzeentch, the Changer of Ways, the most mercurial Chaos God. Her powers are beyond mortal ken. Given time, I might have seen through her spell, but I was forced to remain with the Waystone. Perhaps she counted on that.
Yet she led us to Skraeling. Why? Oh, it makes no sense.
Unless...
What?
It was Kessler who told us that the Harbinger was searching for a champion to lead Kull's horde. But what if that was a lie? What if she's been searching for these champions so she can eliminate her competition?
And using us as the hunters.
Now her rivals are dead, and she has collected their relics. There is no one left to stop her now.
Except for me. She will pay for what she's done, High Lawmaster. I swear it. On the spirits of the forest. Only, how are we to find her now that Skraeling's dead? She's left no trail for us to follow.
We must return to Nuln at once. Meet me at the Waystone when you are ready to depart, but make haste. I fear that Magnus has little time left. Fortune is with us, young Azrai. The Harbinger may have tricked us, but her arrogance may yet be her undoing.
How so?
When she attacked you at the temple, you managed to wound her before she could escape.
A scratch, more like.
But all wounds bleed, do they not? A few tiny drops were all I required. Using the proper rituals, I was able to track the Harbinger to her lair.
That is clever indeed, High Lawmaster. Let us go and slay her at once!
It's not so simple as that. The path to the Harbinger leads into the realm of chaos itself. I must prepare for what lies ahead, as should you. When you are ready, join me inside the tower in Nuln. There was a time when an emperor ruled in Nuln, and the empire was at peace. But that was long before you were born. Soldiering is the only life you've ever known. Your father was a swordsman in service to the Elector Count of Reichland. By the time you were 15, he was dead, and his sword and armor passed to you. You've lost count of the number of battles you've fought. Some were victories, others defeats. Most were fought over the same barren hills and empty villages, year after year. You rose through the ranks, replacing men who'd fallen along the way. Then came the news of the Chaos Invasion. Panicked Reichlanders spoke of the end of the world, and you feared they were right. With the Empire divided, who could stand against Kull and his horde? But then a nobleman from the old imperial capital of Nuln stepped into the breach. His name was Magnus, and he called upon the warring Elector Counts to stand as one and drive back the Chaos Horde. You expected no one to listen, but this time was different. Magnus's message spread like wildfire across the Empire. Within weeks, you and your company were on the march, joining the growing army as it headed north. Not even a lifetime of battles could prepare you for the nightmare that waited at Kislev. Just when all seemed lost, Magnus and his knights launched a desperate charge against the Chaos Warlord and his bodyguards. Surrounded, you and your men held back the horde until Asavar Kull had fallen. It was the company's greatest victory, and its last. By the time the battle was over, you were the only one left. Once the dead were buried, you accepted Magnus's invitation to join his retinue and return with him to Nuln. After the horrors you witnessed at Kislev,
Defending the Empire from its foes is the only battle worth fighting anymore. It is good you are here, Captain. I have been to see Magnus, and the news is grim. His strength is failing. We must act now, or all is lost.
I'm ready. Just tell me what to do.
The Harbinger's lair is within a fortress of Tzeentch, which lies in a region of the realm of chaos ruled by the Changer of Ways. As such, she is under the protection of a mighty demon prince, whose power shields the fortress from attack. Defeating a demon prince in its own realm is no easy task. You must weaken it first by destroying its minions and its sources of magic. I will open a portal to the realm of chaos and send you through. I will hold it open from here and stand watch to keep it secure. Use the runestone when it is time to return.
What do I do once I get there?
We must first learn the name of the demon prince. That will tell us much about its sources of power. You must force one of the demon prince's lieutenants to give up its master's name.
I can do that. Where do I find this demon lieutenant?
Don't worry, Captain Bolin. Once you've caused enough trouble, it will find you.
Come forth, demons! Face me if you dare! In the name of Sigmar Heldenhammer, I challenge you! Show yourselves, or I will lay waste to your foul realm!
Who dares invade our realm? Seize the mortal. We will pluck the secrets from his mind and offer them up to our master! Mortal worm. You were a fool to follow me here.
It's not yet time. I can't do that right now. It's not yet time.
Burst our enemies.
Strike me, mortal, and be damned. I will curse your name for all time.
You mean nothing to me, demon. It's your master I want. Give me its name, and I will spare you.
My master is known by many names, mortal. Not even I can remember them all.
Give me one of them. I care not which. Tell me, or be destroyed.
Stay your hand. I will tell you this secret. Make of it what you will. My master is Axarath the Desecrator. That is my gift to you, mortal. And my curse, for it will be your undoing!
You were gone for some time, Captain. I had begun to fear the worst. Tell me, what have you learned?
Axarath, the Desecrator. That's one name for the demon prince that's protecting the Harbinger.
I know that name. It is a powerful demon, ancient and steeped in corruption. I must consult the law and learn what I can about Axarath. Return to me when you are ready, Captain. But be prepared. The worst is yet to come. I have learned much about our enemy since last we spoke. Defeating Axarath will be no easy task. Its power is terrible indeed. First, we must deal with the Demon Prince's followers. Once they are destroyed, we will be able to roam its realm at will. The first phase of the plan is simple. Seek out the enemy's sentinels. Kill them all.
Consider it done, High Lore Master.
Axarath's sentinels are dead.
Well done, Captain. Now we are one step closer to the source of the Demon Prince's power. Now that we've dealt with the Demon Prince's minions, we must eliminate the foul chaos beasts that guard the paths to Axarath's sources of power. You must descend into the lair of the chaos beasts and destroy them utterly. Only then will we be able to strike at the Demon Prince's heart.
Not yet time. The beasts are dead, High Lore Master.
Excellent. Now there will be no warning when we move to destroy Axarath's source of power. We must move quickly now, before the Demon Prince realizes his peril. If you have any preparations to make, do so now, and return to me at once. Now that we have dealt with Axarath's guardians, we may begin our search for the Demon Prince's source of magical energy. An obscene shrine known as the Fane of Forbidden Secrets. The shrine is infused with countless souls that Axarath has corrupted over the centuries. It fuels his most powerful spells and helps maintain the wards protecting the Harbinger's fortress. The shrine is well hidden, but the lore says that it is located very close to Axarath's court. Find the secret path that leads to the shrine, and then strike quickly before the Demon Prince realizes its peril.
There's the hidden path. No time to waste. I've got to get to the shrine and destroy it. It's done. The shrine's been destroyed.
I know. I felt its destruction through the portal. Well done, Captain. Axarath has suffered a terrible blow, but he will quickly recover. We must move swiftly now. If you have any preparations to make, do so at once. I will ready the portal for when you return. It's time, Captain. We must strike now or never. Axarath has been weakened, but remains a powerful foe. The Demon Prince knows it is under attack, and has gathered its remaining followers to defend its court. You will be fighting against terrible odds, and if you fail, well, in the realm of chaos, there are fates far worse than death.
We're wasting time, High Lore Master. Magnus is counting on us.
Go then, and the gods go with you.
You will suffer for what you have done, mortal. I swear it before Almighty Tzeentch. Your agonies will last for 1,000 years.
It's not yet time.
That was a deed worthy of legend, Captain. Axarath is no more, and the Harbinger is now within our grasp. The final battle is at hand. There is no time to lose, Captain. Magnus is growing weaker by the moment. We must storm the fortress of Tzeentch before it's too late. I've arranged for the portal to deliver you to the foot of the Harbinger's Tower in the fortress of Tzeentch. From there, you must fight your way to the Harbinger's sanctum at the top.
What about Voss? Is there any chance he might still be alive?
There's no time for that, Captain. The fate of the Empire is at stake.
I can't just leave him there. Not if there's a chance of getting him out.
Do you think he would do the same for you?
That's not the point.
No, I suppose not. Do as your conscience dictates, Captain. I cannot say what you will find once you are inside the tower. But I can say this. If the Harbinger hasn't killed Voss by now, I suspect he wishes he were dead.
Then I'll see to it he's avenged. What is this? It's like a twisted reflection of the tower back in Nuln. What will I find once I get to the throne room?
Volan! How is this possible? You said he couldn't follow us!
I never thought he'd risk the realm of chaos, much less challenge Axarath. There may be more to this little soldier than I thought.
This is all because of Teclis! I told you he would be trouble!
But Teclis isn't here, is he? Brother, you fret like an old fishwife. Everything is under control.
Brother? What is she talking about? Skraeling said that...
Skraeling knew me as Helspeth Bale. But once upon a time, my name was Helspeth Voss. and I was a merchant's daughter in Nuln. In those days, I wanted to be a scholar. But the university did not accept women. So, I chose a different path. And I was a very attentive student indeed. I grew powerful and careless. It was only a matter of time before the witch hunters took notice. And who should catch me but my very own brother? Oh, if you could have seen the look on his face.
That's enough.
He knew he couldn't arrest me, not without bringing suspicion onto the entire family. It would have ruined his precious ambitions.
I said that's enough!
My brother craves nothing so much as power, you see. That's why I knew he would agree to my plan.
And what does he gain by betraying Magnus and making you leader of the Chaos Horde?
Her? She doesn't want to lead the Horde.
I'd rather rule from the shadows. Let someone else assume all the risks.
You think you can kill Magnus and put your brother on the throne?
Don't be ridiculous. Magnus isn't going to die. He's the key to the entire plan. Once the spell has run its course, Magnus will rise again. It will be seen as a miracle, a sign of divine grace. The Elector Counts will rush to proclaim him emperor, never suspecting that his soul belongs to me. I will rule through Magnus, and the Empire will be plunged into a new age of horror and despair. So you see, I do not need a horde to conquer the old world. I just need one man.
No, that's not what we agreed. You said I would be the next Chaos Lord. That was the point of stealing the relics. The Horde was to be mine.
That wasn't what I said, brother. That was what you chose to hear.
You lied to me.
Brother.
I am the champion of the Dark Gods. Mine is the power, and mine alone!
You witless fool! I'll show you power!
The curse had been broken. Free from the corrupting touch of chaos, Magnus recovered quickly, thanks to the work of Teclis and the Sigmarite priests. Not long after, the Elector Counts gathered in Nuln to proclaim Magnus as their emperor. The Great War against Chaos was over, and the Empire of Man had been restored. A great victory had been won, but the struggle to rebuild the Empire had only just begun. The servants of Chaos had been defeated, but there were other enemies across the old world and beyond that would rise to take their place. You have earned your place amongst the Empire's greatest heroes, but your deeds are far from done. The legend of Conrad Volan is still being written, and your greatest battles are yet to come.